Hello everyone. I am Simran and today we are diving into how to debug real-time pipelines in OpenObserve. So, if you have ever set up a pipeline and thought, why is this field missing? Why isn't the transformation applying? Or why is the pipeline even failing when everything else looks perfect? Then this video is for you. So, what is a pipeline first of all? Pipelines in OpenObserve are like data processing workflows. They let you control what happens to your data after it is ingested into OpenObserve. They basically provide you a clear way to read data from a source, to apply some transformations, changes, or filtering on top of it, and to send the processed output to some destination. Now, OpenObserve supports two different type of pipeline. One is real-time pipeline and other is a scheduled pipeline. A real-time pipeline basically processes the incoming data as soon as it reaches the source. It is useful when you want to apply immediate transformations, routing, filtering, etc. Then we have scheduled pipelines. So, a scheduled pipeline processes historical data from an existing stream, and the interval at which it will process the historical data is user defined. You can set it to past 10 minutes, past 5 minutes. This is basically useful when you want to extract, transform, and load the data at regular intervals without the manual intervention. We may support two different type of pipelines, but both of them have the same building blocks. So we have the source node, the transformation node, and the destination node. Source defines where the data is coming from. It can be directly from a stream or a query which runs on top of a stream. Then transformation defines how the data is changed or filtered. You can apply some conditions for filtering, you can apply a function for transformation. And then we have destination node, which defines where the process data is written. So it can be a destination stream, which we create in OpenObserve itself, or it can be some remote destination. Having understood what a real-time pipeline is and what are the different components which makes a real-time pipeline, let's see how to actually run and to see things in action. So we have this default log stream and we'll be creating a real-time pipeline on top of this. So let's create a new pipeline. Our source node will be the log stream itself. So that is a default log stream. And our destination also will be the default log stream. We can send it to remote. For this demo, let's keep it same stream. Okay, so let's add a transformation function. So I have already created two functions. Let me just save this. Let me just give this a name, transform real time. Okay, this is a pipeline name. So to apply transformation, I already have created two different functions. One is to transform based on level. So if you closely look at the data or the log stream we have, there are a bunch of parameters. There is a timestamp, there is a job which is test, there is a level which is information, then there is log. So the transform level, what it does is it checks if there is a field with level equals to error, then it adds in a parameter that severity equals to high. If the level is not error, then severity equals to normal. That is the work of this function. So if I test this, this is the sample event, and if I test this function, this is what you'll get. Given the level is info, so severity is normal. Now suppose if I change this level to error, now you see the severity is high. So that is what the work of this function is. That is transform level function. And then we have this induce error function, which is supposed to fail. So if I make any entry, if I test this function, it should throw an error. This is when I want to intentionally induce an error. Now we'll apply this transformation functions to our code piece. Let's basically try it out. So I have this, I apply this function, we apply transform level function here, and we need to remove this and just add in so that our data flows to this transformation function and then reaches the destination. Okay, let me quickly add in the other transformation function as well. So I'll just remove this and then connect this. So I just save this pipeline. Now let me just try to add new events to the source stream so that I can get in the data here. So if I run the query, you see severity is normal. Now if I go to the pipelines, the first function worked, but there was an error. Where did the error actually happen? It happened in a function with the ID this. So let me copy this. If I go to this function, so you see it's clearly pointing out that some error happened here. It points us back to this function so that we can try it out and then debug it. To actually debug this error, we need the logs behind it, the data behind it. And to have that data, we need to enable usage reporting for our OpenObserve instance. We have a blog written over how to enable usage reporting and stuff. So basically, you will make use of a single environment variable. You'll set the usage reporting enabled environment variable to true, and it will just start collecting all the usage related data. Whenever usage reporting is enabled, the data gets stored in a different organization. So currently we are in the default organization. Whenever usage reporting is enabled, by default the data gets stored in the meta organization. You can change it by setting value for this environment variable, and there are a bunch of other different environment variables. I'll add the link to this blog in the description and you can take a look at that. So basically we have enabled usage reporting for our O2 instance, and if I click on this, I haven't changed the default like the organization name, so we can get the data in meta org. So here if I go to the log section, I'll see a couple of streams. There are error, there are usage, and a bunch of stream. So when you enable usage reporting, you are not limited to just the error or the usage stream. There are a bunch of other streams like audit, triggers, etc. But those come into picture when you have alerts or scheduled pipelines running. So given we don't have any of them running and the pipeline ran into error, so this error stream got created and we can see it. So if we run this query, we get the data there, but there can be multiple real-time pipelines running. So we have this. So our pipeline name was transform real time. So if I run this query, this is what I get. Okay. This is the log associated to the pipeline I'm running, and this is the actual error message. So I can take a look at it and then fix it accordingly. Let's get back to our real-time pipeline. Let's just add in a condition here. The condition is to check if job equals dev. So basically, let me apply a filtering to it. I know this value doesn't exist, but just for applying it. So let the data flow in through here. Okay, and then let me add one more function. Let me add the induce error function. Okay, and then one more. Basically, I can make the data reach to multiple destination, but this is for trial. So let's keep it this way. And then let me quickly save this pipeline. So now let me ingest in new data so that I can see the logs. So if I take a look at this, there are two different functions which fail. Now, because there are two transformations I applied which were bound to fail, so I can debug them one by one. First, let's pick this node error ID. Okay. And then I go to the meta organization. Here I go to the log explorer. I filter for the error stream, and then I filter data for the transformation pipeline. And then I want to filter based on the node error string ID. So what I do is I can run a string match function. And this is the node ID I copied. When you have so many entries here, then it will be easier for you to debug. Currently, I have only two entries, so you won't be able to feel the difference. Or maybe let's ingest two more data so that you can see what I am talking about. So we have 5 to 6 different entries here. If there are multiple transformation functions applied, we need to debug them one by one. So let's just filter on top of this. We have copied the pipeline node error from the error message. So on filtering for that particular node error, I get only the definite number of entries. And now I can just pop in key. Okay, for this particular node ID, this is the error which I need to fix. So I can go back and fix it for that node and come back to look for the other node again and fix it accordingly. So that is how you debug a real-time pipeline. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any queries, you can make use of the comment section below, or you can join our Slack community as well. We are active there. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more updates.